His nickname is Superbad.
Oh, I hope we don't lose everything. I'm gonna feel like a jackass.
What kind of things do they do in an establishment called Silk? Pretty sure she gets a lot of comments about how effing hot she is, so she's probably tired of him. But
Well, you kind of had to suspect that that's what was going on anyway.
there's no reason he shouldn't have qualified. I guess he did crash kind of twice.
Throwing
Yes.
that at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
This is the Talkin Moto podcast. Oh boy. Oh boy. I just discovered over the weekend how much I love NASCAR. Anything. Were you excited about NASCAR?
I'm hanging up now.
Jeff, are you excited about NASCAR?
I'm thrilled about NASCAR.
Such an awesome time. Whew. I'm thinking that we rename the podcast Talkin NASCAR Podcast. Yes. No. Wow. Okay. Be a
You're giving them more credit than they deserve.
Brought to you by NASCAR.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I just thought it was a little excessive. A little excessive.
It's Atlanta. It always happens in Atlanta. Get used to it.
I know. But
Well, they don't bring the frickin' IndyCar drivers over to Indianapolis.
That's because the races aren't there at the same time.
I didn't realize there was a race. I don't follow NASCAR, so there's a race at the same time.
next day getting crazy.
Oh yeah, I did.
For
see
some
that
reason,
footnote
Atlanta
somewhere.
Supercross always ends up being like the same weekend as the NASCAR race in Atlanta. I think they plan it that way.
I think it's cool, and I don't mind a little bit. I just think it was just like everything. It was too much for me to handle.
Got you to watch the race. That's all they were trying to do.
Oh boy, boy, did I ever watch the race. It's glued to my television, waiting for them to say something about Supercross. Didn't
That's
happen.
all they wanted.
Actually, I think our podcast last week, it didn't get me in trouble, but it made me have to work harder this last weekend. Courtesy of Matt.
Right.
No, well, Matt ordered up some T-shirts from me. So we were talking about me coming up this coming weekend, and he shoots me a text. He's like, "Hey, you should bring up those shirts." And I was like, shoot. I'm like, well, if I can get them ordered in time, I'll get them on Friday. And yeah, sure, I'll get them done. So yeah, that's what I did. I hammered out some T-shirts. So it's a good deal. So that was it. That's really all I got to say.
So once again, Scott's making money off the podcast and not sharing with us.
You guys, that's a good idea. No, there's not enough room for me to hire help. If you guys were closer, I could have put you to work.
I don't want to work.
I was going to say,
you
this is enough
misconstrued.
work for me.
Oh, you just. Well, we are up to $6 on that Amazon banner, so I can.
Well, that divides 3 ways pretty easily.
Yep. So, I'll buy you guys.
I'm guessing
I'd like it. I'd like my payment in the form of a check, please.
4 will go to Scott, and we'll get $1, and then he'll 1099 us.
Just to be a
In the end, we'll get like 40 cents.
I'll come check on you, bud.
I know. I apologize. But All right, let's get after it. So round 8 from Atlanta. Round 1 for that 250 East. Big thanks to everyone that's been watching and checking us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and of course on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Talkin Moto Podcast, Twitter at Talkin Moto, and of course the lovely Facebook Talkin Moto. Thanks to everyone that's been helping us. Spring Creek MX Park, Moto Kazi, Derek Gibson Art Designs, Plainview Power Sports, and this SKD character. Was it nice up there? Should we start off with a little weather segment? Was it nice up there this weekend?
Yeah, we better do the weather before we get into things.
Yeah, Saturday was amazing.
It was nice. Now we're supposed to get snow again. At least for us. I don't know what you guys are getting.
We ain't getting no snow. We're getting the mid-50s next week. We just got to get through a little cold blast. That's it. Then we'll be riding by March 28th. Well, I won't be.
Well, you might be. I won't be.
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Oh, Jason, I'm brain farting on. I met you there for the regional. Is that Mount Carroll? Looked like they were open this weekend.
Yeah, they were open this weekend.
So I was like, how? I mean that would be a haul for you, but that's not too far. I think that was only like 3 hours. I think for me, was it 5 for you, or was it longer than that?
It should have been 5, but I was following an extremely slow person, so it was more like 9.
It happens though.
It's not looking too bad for next weekend. Seeing 54 on Sunday, 61 on Monday, 63 on Tuesday, March 8th. Those are not too bad. We're not going to dip below freezing again, according to this forecast, after the 4th. So we'll be thawing 24/7.
Good deal, good deal.
If that holds up, we'll be riding before you know it, because I know there's not much frost in the ground. That place in Iowa, what is that one? Oak Ridge? Is that what I'm thinking? Oak?
Yeah.
Sound right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That place was talking about getting open here real quick.
Oh, man.
Why you guys gotta stress me out?
I was going to say, where are we at on that rebuild?
Pretty much the same.
It's okay. You'll get her done. You will.
No, actually, I made a lot of progress this weekend. Just not anything you can see yet. So, finally went and bought myself a nice shop press to make handling bearings and whatnot a hell of a lot easier. Got everything ready to go this weekend, so maybe next weekend I can finally get a top end and get her put together. So, got some other parts and pieces on the way.
Nice. And I did see some trailer modifications via the door. That's pretty sweet.
It was all for you.
Man, that's an honor.
I never say I didn't do anything for you.
I know. I could.
He's gonna put the lock on the other side though, so he can lock you back there.
Yeah. I mean, that goes without saying.
It's a good idea. Oh man. No.
You were kind of flirting with that fine line of a friend sleeping in your truck / hostage situation.
Me?
It's a little less like that right now with a doorway.
Oh. Yeah, because you're not locked. Of course, I never was locked. I think I could have got out, couldn't I? Or did you lock me in there?
No, you could have got out. I just couldn't get in.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We had a ratchet strap.
I fashioned up a way for you to close the door.
Good times. That was a good time.
I don't even know where this happened at. Was this at Mount Carroll?
Oh, no.
No, this was at Kellogg. Scott
you
slept
took the
in
van
the
to Mount
Focus at
Carroll,
Mount
right?
Carroll.
Oh yeah,
Ugh,
that's
a horrible way to live.
I think the coolest part about sleeping in the back of the Focus, I don't remember, Jason, if it was the first night or the second night that it got all windy. Was that the second night? I don't remember.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I got the Easy Up, and that's like strapped to my car. And I just remember waking up and I thought the thing was going to take off, but yeah, the Focus,
I just remember waking up in the morning, stumbling out of the van, and there's the Focus with the hatch open and Scott's feet hanging out.
The first night,
because he couldn't straighten out unless the hatch was open.
Yeah, the first night I think I tucked in there and I was all right, and then night 2, man, I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I had to open it up and kick my feet out. Oh, that was a good time. All right, let's see here.
Tell you what, before I'll ever let you do that again, you can borrow the Jimmy.
The Jimmy.
I've slept in the back of a Blazer with the seats that fold almost flat. And if you're not, like, super tall, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing ever. But Focus, hell no. I slept, I think, in the back of my Cavalier one time with the seat down into the trunk. And that was marginal, but I was drunk. And I would have slept anywhere. The Jimmy probably won't be too bad. Or James, as I like to refer to it as.
James.
I like to refer to it as Jimmy James.
Oh man. Nah, someday. I don't know.
Someday you're gonna buy a car.
Well, you're gonna make fun of me. It's growing on me. A Ford
You're gonna
Transit.
buy a Focus wagon, aren't you?
Nah, ooh, now we're talking.
You're gonna buy an extended Prius.
You might as well buy a Subaru.
Perfect.
I heard they run on love. Cheaper than gas.
That's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Oh man.
The Transit van's all right, but I don't think, is it big enough for a bike? I mean, you're not gonna ever have a bike again, are you?
Nah, probably not. Most likely.
I don't know how that's even possible.
What? I have a bike again?
How can you just decide to never ride again?
I just don't have time to ride again. I think my time.
Baloney.
I think my time on a motorcycle will consist of swinging by a track on the way back to Wisconsin. With next time, I'll bring my gear bag with. But yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to find somebody else's bike because with all the money I'm sticking into this one, nobody else is ever riding it.
I think Matt was talking about.
I'm kidding.
It's okay. It's a good idea though. It's probably a wise idea. I thought Matt said that one time he had a 2-stroke I could ride, which, dear God, I thought that would be pretty entertaining, but I don't think we should do that either. But nah, dude, my summers suck. Well, they don't suck. They're just busy. A lot going on, and I really think I'd get in big trouble at work if I were to break my arm. They'd be in a real pickle there. So.
Gotta have priorities, man.
I know. I like to go fishing.
I think I'd probably do my job better with a broken arm. I'd probably sit in my desk more often and not wander around and talk to people.
Yeah. And maybe you'd stay put.
See, yeah, a broken leg might be better.
All right.
And we'd really have to come up with our design for our copier on wheels.
We'd have to tweak the invention, the $1 million idea. Probably more like a 220,000 idea.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it seems all right.
I mean, that's what we'd have to spend to build it.
Oh, you don't think we could get that out of it?
No, I don't think it'll make us anything. I
Oh,
don't think it'll bankrupt us both. But.
It's only money you can't take.
okay, then
with
we
you.
just need to. Then we just need to set up pneumatic tubes so we can just. Boom.
I'll get some PVC on the way in tomorrow, and we'll work on that.
Okay. By the time I get back, I expect that to be done.
Do you guys want to talk about the race or not really? Because I got to be honest with you guys, I shut it off at a certain point and walked away.
What's your problem? That's the best racing ever. The greatest of all time was back.
Who's that, Ricky?
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
No, there was a black goat.
Fastest man on the planet.
Huh.
The
Ever
return.
see a black goat?
Oh, we're going to get us in trouble.
I
that
had
getting us
higher
in
hopes
trouble?
for his return to racing, to be honest.
I don't, because you can't say anything negative. Everyone gets so damn sensitive, and then they're gonna get mad at us.
I don't care. What are you gonna do? Cut my pay?
You guys are making me feel bad now. I wish I
Don't
had.
start now.
Oh, shoot.
It took this long?
Well, okay, hang on. I'm skipping around here. Jeff, did you watch? It's kind of one of the first things I got is the GP started. Did you get to watch those?
No, I totally forgot all about him, and I'm watching one right now. I know the results, I guess, or I know who won. I don't really know. There's a couple things I don't quite know yet, because I kind of wanted to find out where Townley, if he did anything or what. But
Horrendous crash.
Are you serious?
No, I have no idea.
You just made that up. Okay. Damn you.
No,
So I haven't got to the MXGP class, but yeah, I know that Tim Geiger won the big boys and Hurlings went 1-1. But I'm watching it right now, and I got to tell you, I'm still impressed, and I've always been impressed with the size of their tracks. They're like the width of them. That entire section's got to be 40 feet wide minimum. Their jumps are just massive.
Maybe they should cut that in half and then make the track longer.
Yeah, I don't know how long the lap times were at this joint.
48 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 30 minutes plus 2 with 48-second lap times is tough to watch. I struggled through it last night.
No, and I got two different broadcasts. Apparently they're doing an HD one and a non-HD one.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that, but I'm watching the non-HD one right now, and it looks like dog piss. But
nope, I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I guess I don't know much what to say about it other than the GPs are like the first rounds mean nothing, really.
Yeah,
they're pretty slow starting.
I kind of threw in the towel a little early last night, so it was like 9:30, and we're just laying around watching TV, and I just happened to come across it, so I caught the tail end of the second moto, and I don't know, I thought, yeah, it's exactly what you said, like how wide the track just seemed super wide. I guess I didn't pay any attention to the length of the lap times, but
yeah, they don't have like a lap time thing, like a ticker. So
yeah, I just started thinking, they show this finish line jump an awful lot. It seems like that's the only spot they have a camera, and I don't remember. Somewhere along the line, I heard them throw out a lap time, and I was like, really? 48 seconds? No wonder it feels like they're always
that might be
jump.
quicker than Atlanta.
I think it is. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of. This was like a road race track, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
don't know much about road racing, but
it's a little different situation than most of them. But
I don't see much of a crowd there either. But I'm assuming it might have to do with trying to keep the track in front of the grandstand.
Well, I think it's partly that, but also the other part is, like, Moto 2 didn't start until after 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I liked the trophies that they handed out. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if you
I thought
saw them
those
at
were
all at
pretty
the
sweet,
end.
too.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
a big old oyster with like spikes and then a pearl in the middle. Pretty sweet looking. They appeared to be solid gold, because I'm sure they were made out of that oil money.
Do you
They probably were coming from that country.
Matt says they were 1:48. I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not.
I could be wrong. I have been before. So it's very possible that I heard it wrong and it's 1:48. But I don't know why. For some reason, I believed that it was 48 because it just didn't seem like it was that long. But
No, I would agree. It looked like they kind of showed that same spot. I get what you're saying.
you ever been wrong before? Happened to me once.
Don't ever admit to it, though. Jeez.
Was Matt in the chat room chatting it up with
Yeah.
little Kathy?
Yeah. Hanging out.
I was in there before and it was pretty boring. I'm gonna have to go talk some shit to him.
So yeah, the things I noticed, track was wide. They had 2:30. What is it? A 15-second girl and a 5-second girl, or is it a 30 and 15? They have two.
This really is your
there's
first
two.
time watching the GPs, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I knew they had two, but I really don't have much else to say other than that and the two girls. And then was it Caroli? What did he have on his boot? You have like a light on his boot?
He had the light up
Yeah.
boot thing going. He did that last year too.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like
guitar.
these were like super bright this year. It seemed like I saw some pictures of him. Like the left side was blue. He used to do like the CD logo would be all lit up in yellow,
Okay.
but this time it was like it almost looked like his bike had lights underneath of it because the ground underneath him was glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But they do that at the night round.
He had the green side going too, like early on, but something must have happened to it because like halfway through it wasn't lit up anymore.
Crazy.
And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this because I probably am, but I've never noticed this before. And last season I watched quite a bit of the GPs. But how about Fly Racing showing up in the GPs? I don't remember that from before.
Who's
I
rocking
don't ever
him?
remember seeing Fly gear. There was like 5 or 6 guys rocking the Fly gear.
Yeah, I wonder if they got a distributor out there because they maybe didn't have
they
one
must.
before.
I don't ever remember seeing that.
Usually it's like UFO and Alpine Stars and
Yeah.
maybe Fox. Fox was always on Holland. He
Yeah.
was more Fox. How about freaking Clement DeSalle riding with a broken arm?
No
Just to get some
shit.
points.
Oh, sorry.
Great. Now I got to go back and beep that shit out.
What did they say? It was 7 days after having that plated?
Yeah, basically. And I think it was his. We talked about it before. It was his radius, right? At
Yeah. I mean, that's
Lower
freaking
arm bone.
crazy.
least he's got another arm bone to pick up the slack.
I don't think the Alna does much in that department.
I don't even know what that would be like. Like, do you just not try to jar it at all? How's that possible?
Oh, I couldn't imagine, especially as rough as that track was getting. Holy crap. And some of those jumps, I mean, if you didn't land them perfect.
Oh,
they
there
were
was
gonna
that
hurt even
massive
if you were
triple
perfectly
jump. That
healthy.
might have been the finish line, actually, but the 450, I don't know if he ever jumped it, but look, the 250s, never. I didn't see anyone on a 250 try it. One thing I do like about the GPs is they're not afraid to put in some big-ass jumps occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would, well, I don't know. You'd think if it's plated, it's not going to go anywhere, right? So just...
Yeah, but it's still got to hurt like hell.
Juice them up,
See,
get
I've never
them
had
out
a
there.
bone. I never broke a bone, so I don't know what that's like. I just imagine it being incredibly painful.
Anytime I've had bones plated, 7 days later, I'm not doing anything with it.
We're just
Sure
hanging
as hell ain't getting on a dirt bike.
True.
I'll tell you, the second 250 moto is pretty boring.
I didn't even. How many seconds did Hurlings win by?
I don't think by much. The first one was only like 2 seconds. The first moto. Second moto, I don't have any idea. He's out there in front right now.
I'm gonna have to see if I can't TiVo or try to watch him online.
They don't give you too many. They don't give you a ton of information. I see Covington didn't do that good. He was in like 11th. He's in 11th right now with a minute to go. I'm kind of surprised that he stayed over there. He switched teams. Kind of figured by now we'd see him come back over here. I think he'd do a lot better here unless he's using these first couple of years to get better. And
Because he's only, is this his second year or third year over there?
I think it's his second full-time, maybe third year total, but I don't know if he went and raced all of them the first year. But he got his ass kicked last year. He really didn't do all that well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You'd think that if you're getting, getting your butt whooped all the time, you'd try something different, but he signed up with the Husky team over there, and I guess him and Max Anstey are on the team together.
And we'll have to try to pay a little closer attention. So they race again in like 3 weeks?
No, I think it's just next weekend in Thailand.
Getting after it.
I think then they might be off for a couple.
Thai country.
Talk about a travel schedule, huh? Go to Qatar, and then what do? Do you go home, and then like 3 days later go there, or do you go there early and just adjust to time and all that? I never put much into that whole jet lag thing until I went to Vegas and realized that it's a real thing.
Is that what caused all that?
Jet lag in Vegas.
And it's just 2 hours difference. It's like all of a sudden you just, I don't know. You get hungry at weird times. You're like, what the hell's going on? You're like, oh yeah, well, I'm actually 2 hours ahead of schedule or behind schedule. I don't know how it is now. But it is a thing.
It happens.
Well, hell. Well, should we get into it? Maybe.
Let's go.
Okay. Did you guys? I tried to watch it several times, but in that second heat of 250s, did you see anything with the gate, or am I blind?
I did not. I did not.
So I think
see
someone
anything with
hit
the
it and then caused everyone to go.
Like
Someone off camera hit it.
Like I'm watching, and all the guys that I see that are stuck, all have their wheel underneath it. So I don't know.
I kind of felt like maybe again it was kind of a long delay. Somebody jumped, hit the gate, which can cause the whole gate to jump, and that's when everybody decided to go. But I didn't see anything in it. I don't know.
You got to think that 5 or 6 or 7 guys or whatever, if it's one guy, you can say nothing happened. If it's 6 guys, you got to figure something must have moved, or unless one guy just triggered the rest of them and they were all anxious because it was the first race and all that jazz.
I think you could say that if it happened on one side of the doghouse, but when it happens on both sides, I don't know. I think something had to move.
It was very slight, if anything, though, because it didn't pick up on the camera. I couldn't tell anything moved.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Oh yeah, it's like I watched the replay, and they're like, super slow-mo. Oh, there it moved. There it moved. I'm like, I don't see shit moving. What is moving? The only thing I see moving is like, them hitting the gate, but
You guys can't see it when the leader's getting past. How can you see it when a gate moves?
So Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. The gate drops, or drops for some people. They take off, and I was like, obviously Stewart, excuse me, was stuck in there, and I was like super excited because I thought it'd be a good race, And then they red flag it, and then he gets the whole shot on the restart. I was like, sad. I was sad.
You're just unhappy because you don't like him.
Yeah, I know.
You keyboard warrior. Or is it a racer? Keyboard racer?
Get ready, boys. It's going to be a long season. Actually, I hopped on Vital, and I didn't see too much bashing, but I didn't look too long either, so I'm sure there could be more to it. But
he rode awesome though. He was fast. I was surprised to see how good he was. I kind of expected him to be a little out of control. He looked solid.
Nope. Yeah, I thought. I think he's maybe a little better than I thought he was gonna be. But I think a lot of the other guys are. I hate to say it, they seem to be kind of banged up a little bit. At least that's what I thought I heard. I think Bowers wasn't quite going. But Hampshire's still dinged up. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. He tried to die at Monster Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Red Bull Straight Rhythm. That's what I meant. He's the one who face planted the whoops.
He was a human lawn dart.
Yes. I'm surprised he's alive and racing. Who else was really good, though? I guess Davalos I expected to be pretty damn good. A lot better than I expected. I was thinking to myself, too, watch this. I picked him, I think, in fantasy for, like, 5th or something, and I figured that was, after I picked it, I'm like, son of a... And he wins the heat race. Figured I thought for sure then he's going to win now and make my fantasies all jacked up. Not my fantasies, my fantasy moto.
After 500 starts, you should be pretty good.
Okay. I think this is actually great. And maybe I'm completely out of whack here, but do you think maybe they should take away that pointing out system? And if guys want...
actually, I would be perfectly fine with that. I really don't care about that. I just thought it was kind of funny when he's on the podium or whatever, and they bring up the fact that it was his 107th start or whatever it was. I'm like, he probably doesn't want you telling people that.
He's like, you got 20 heat wins. The closest active rider's got 5, or whatever it was. It's like, yeah, well, he obviously does get a lot of shit for it, but I don't know. I think it's...
I don't care. If they want to race 250s, let them race 250s. I don't give a crap.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, it isn't like he's been... it'd be one thing if he was just kicking ass, dominating forever, and wouldn't get out of the class. That's a different story than if you're, not able to put it all together.
Right.
It's not like he was taking away wins that should have been someone else's, or... First win he got was last year, right? Or was it 14? Was his first win or something?
Ooh.
It was a while ago.
It's been... I think he's gotten 3 in, 10 years? I don't remember. I
think they all came in that year he rode for Mitch when AC got hurt, which would have been 14. Didn't him and AC split wins, and then Davalos got hurt in Detroit, I think? Something like that? I don't know. I might be making shit up. Matt will have to correct us if we're wrong, because he knows all the data.
Get after it, Matt. I was just watching. Was that had to have been the second heat? No, second heat is going on right now. So Jesse Wetland got 4th in that heat. That was pretty good. I thought he did pretty good.
Yeah.
Something happened. I think with like 5 or 6 to go. I seen Sean posted some photos on Facebook, and the back end looked a little twisted. So I did not I did not see or hear what happened, but
I was kind of bummed. I mean, good heat race for him.
mhm.
And they only mentioned his name once, and that's when I think he was getting passed or something like that. I was like, seriously?
Well, it's a little confusing because you have Wentland, and then what's the other guy's name that's
Wentel.
damn near the same?
Yeah, Wentel.
Yeah.
And I think I heard Ralph, because I think the one guy is on a Yamaha, and then Jesse's obviously on the Honda.
Yeah, I heard Ralph kept calling out this dude. I'm like, that is not Wentland. Quit saying that. It's a Yamaha, you idiot. He's on a RSR Honda. And then I see the results, and it's like Wentel and then Wendland right behind him. I'm like, what are the odds of that?
You are correct via the chat room with your 2014 stat.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like an encyclopedia, too. It's a Klein thing.
The thing is, though, you guys could totally make this stuff up, and I just believe you because I don't know.
You just roll with the punches. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And it really matters not. It's really stupid info to have. But
if you ever get in the middle of a conversation between these two, Scott, you just sit there and go, uh-huh, yep, uh-huh,
Oh, no.
yep. Oh, yeah, I remember
But you know
that.
I'm always right, though, too. So you always side with me.
Well, either that or I just let you think you're right or the other.
I'm going to try to blow up my computer again.
Yeah, he qualified. What did Jesse qualify? 13th or 12th or something?
12th. That's
Really solid time. Yeah, I think he'll be more. We'll see a lot more of him the way he's riding.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to see who all, kind of the Minnesota guys that qualified. Like Jesse.
How about Henry? He had a hell of a good ride going, and then
Yeah,
he almost made it out of his
screwed.
heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that big crash.
Yep.
He had really impressive times too. I've seen him out there in the. I watched Race Day Live a little bit and saw in the. I don't know if he was in the. I think he was in the C group. He went out there and had the fastest time. Right out of the gate, he did like a 48.8 or something. And
Kid's gonna be good.
Are we missing anyone?
It's crazy now. I mean, like, watching Supercross now is kind of nuts. Because it's like, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy.
Minnesota is well represented, and it's weird to me. You know, you think about all the guys that have Minnesota roots that are raised in Supercross, and it's pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
For a state that's covered in snow, but
I lost my page. I seen Logan just missed it by what, 1,000th of a second. So, damn. Like, I saw the time and I thought that would have got him in, but that's a negative. 41st spot.
Heron made it in the 450s.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's 2 for 2. And I heard Zach was sick, so he wasn't down there.
Yeah.
So that's no good.
I want to throw something out there since we're kind of talking about guys that are borderline qualifying. Are you guys as tired as I am of seeing, and this doesn't necessarily affect the 250 class as much as the 450 class, I guess, but don't you feel like if they're going to have semis and say like this week, okay, we had a pretty good wreck in one of the heat races and kind of a slim gate for the semis, wouldn't it be kind of cool if they took like the 41st and the 42nd qualifier then and said, all right, you guys have a shot at it in the semis?
I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I suppose the argument, I don't know, it's hard to say. I think I counted 12 guys or something, or 14 guys maybe in one of the semis. It was pretty light field.
Yeah, but
I imagine they don't want some of them top guys would probably bitch about it because they got a bad start in the semi. They don't want someone to take them out that they think probably doesn't deserve to be there.
Well, but if it's supposed to be all about getting the audience excited, I'd rather see full gates. So bring in a couple guys that were close, and I mean, if they can run up front, they can run up front. If they can't, I mean, those guys that think they deserve to be in the main just because they're a top guy, then you better get yourself a whole shot and get out front. Let some of the privateers that are, close get out there, get the experience, and, make a name for themselves. And it's not like it's an advantage. Now you only have one race to go out there and try to get into the main. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Well, part of the issue,
though, too, is that 12-rider gate.
Yeah, part of the issue, though, is that the LCQ is taking, the top, or what does it take, the last 11 from each semi, so it comes up with 22 riders in the LCQ, so you'd have to take 6th through 16th or whatever to the LCQ, and then a bunch of guys not make the LCQ. I'm with you. I mean, it's not like it's going to cost them anything. It'll just give, a bigger field, but
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that would make sense. Cause let's just say Dungy, for example, is in a semi, and then he DNFs, and then if it's a full gate for LCQ, that LCQ, then you'd have extra guys in there. You'd have to have a cutoff somewhere. If Dungy got last in a semi, then he'd be out of spot.
I hear you.
But I know what you're...
I think I'd rather see a consolation race with everyone who didn't make the night show or make the main event.
I feel like I'd rather see that than a 12-rider gate in a semi. I mean, if that's what we're down to, then let's just get rid of the semis and do a consi for the guys that didn't qualify or whatever.
A dash for cash?
But I mean, these guys are putting in the effort, traveling to all these races, and if they're not making the night show, they don't get anything out of it. They have nothing to show for it. I feel like they should have a chance to race, but whatever. It was just a thought to, make things a little more interesting, I guess. But obviously, I get the logistics behind it too.
I'm watching this GP right now in HD, and those boots that Caroli was wearing might be distracting, like heavily distracting, because I can't believe how much blue light is coming off of him. Like, he goes in front of a banner. He's like 20 feet from the banner, and you can see it shining on the banner.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are bright. I suppose if he was winning, maybe he'd get protested for something like that. But
they're going to have to enforce a candle power limit on them things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting deal on that. It would be really cool to see, I don't know how you'd fit it into the schedule, but certainly the KTM juniors probably couldn't be any more boring. It'd be kind of neat to see them throw in a 5-lap consolation race or something for all the guys for the top, 20 guys that didn't qualify for the main event. Just to give them a race, let them feel some glory.
In the amount of time that they took talking about NASCAR this weekend and letting the NASCAR guys do the whole shot challenge, they could have done a 6-lap conference.
What a stupid ass idea too, by the way. And also, why did that idiot? I shouldn't even say idiot because I don't know anything about him. Maybe he's the coolest guy ever, but
he's actually a really cool guy. But
he may be, but he should not have gotten the win. Because in my opinion, if you go careening off the track and pile drive into something, yeah, you might have got the whole shot, but you sure as hell ain't finishing the race.
Well, it's like we were talking about. How often does anybody get a whole shot without having to go around the first corner?
Yeah. That's just it. If all your goal is to go out there and get the $1,500, you just don't stop. You just go careening off the track every weekend.
Make sure you get to the line first, and then make sure you know where that big-ass chunk of padding is before you run into the wall.
They maybe should have... it's a good thing someone thought of that, at least, and put that there.
Well, he's still lucky he didn't break his neck. I don't care how soft that thing is. You go flying into it like that, you're lucky to be alive.
They should have put the stripe like around a turn or something, so they had to slow down and make the turn and then get the whole shot. But yeah, I thought that was just really hokey, and I thought it would have been funnier if they got them all geared up and then had them ride off the track and then had some stunt doubles come in and just launch the triple or something. The crowd would be like, "Oh my God, did you see that?"
The first thing I thought when I saw him going off the track is, watch this. Lynn Boyer's going to end up paralyzed. And then how well is this going to work out for you guys?
Well, I gave him something to talk about.
So, Jason, knowing that you're a NASCAR, or no, what's that other thing called? Funny car? What do you call that thing?
NHRA.
Right. Yeah, NHRA. Do you know anything about ZMAX, a dragway? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That's where
that's where the GP's
GP.
at, right?
Yep, on September 3rd. So we'll get to see an American version of a track built on a drag strip.
Yep.
That'll be interesting how that shakes out.
So, what race
that
is
should
that?
actually be a pretty cool facility for that.
It's the GP, one of the GPs of the Americas. I think there's two of them. One at Glen Helen and then this one.
Okay, that's what
It's the one in Charlotte. ZMAX is at Charlotte.
That's what I thought. I'm like, is there two of them here this year?
Yeah, they're back to back.
I think that's cooler
September
than
3rd and September 11th.
I thought they were going to do it at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I thought, well, that's going to be kind of dumb because basically it's just going to be Daytona. But I think it'll be pretty cool there.
Do they have a grandstand that's the full quarter mile?
I don't. I guess I'd be surprised if it's the full quarter mile since they don't race quarter mile.
What do they
I'm
do?
not exactly. I'm sure they'll have something set up for more viewing, but they do. They race to the 1,000-foot mark.
Oh, what's 300 feet?
They probably do there because obviously they have more races than just that, and they probably do have quarter-mile races there. But
oh shoot! When we went to Chicagoland for the snowcross, that's where they had the snowcross race was right on the drag strip, and that was pretty cool. So I'm guessing it'd be. I mean, the grandstands obviously weren't the full length of the track. It's pretty much like a horseshoe, I guess would be the best way to put it. You know, stands on either side, and then in the back, it was like a elevated building, I guess. You know, the kind of the tower, and the cars. You could see where the cars would, you know, line up underneath, and then they'd have like the staging area, and then where they would, you know, line up and take off. I don't know how long that was, but it was actually pretty cool. So I think it should be pretty sweet. Should we road trip? Put it on the credit card? Swing by.
if it's your card, I'm in.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. That's the only thing I'm good at lately is spending money. So
you and me both, brother.
Just keep plugging away at it. So when I made my fantasy picks, I think I was a little bummed. I was hoping for Martin to do a little better. What were you guys thinking? I picked him to win. I don't know if that was.
I got points for his fourth place, so I picked him for fourth.
I think that's a good pick.
Well, who? Okay,
well,
so
obviously it was a good pick, but I think you're pretty safe with that pick.
Stand by.
I don't even remember the top. I mean, Malcolm got second. I don't think there's any. I mean, on that track, I guess I would put Malcolm ahead of him probably any day of the week. It was kind of a basic Supercross track, but now Daytona, different story. I think Martin will be phenomenal at Daytona.
So, you know, obviously,
I would probably put him for the win there, or at least second place. Davalos is probably a third place guy, and I don't know.
Plessinger's
Malcolm's probably. Yeah, Plessinger would be a really solid pick actually for Daytona.
What's the forecast for Daytona? We got to be about due for a mutter.
Sweet baby Jesus. Let's hope not.
That's a good call. You on it, Scotty?
I'm on it.
All right. Be interesting. I guess if you're gonna have a mutter, Daytona's as good a place as any. That sandy soil.
Pretty much.
Well, boys, let's take a look. Let's kick her out.
It was a few years ago. Wasn't there like a tropical storm a few years ago, rolling through the area that really jacked things up?
And I think if Ricky Carmichael really wants to impress me, he'll make part of the racetrack the Supercross track. So they actually have to ride on asphalt.
That'd be pretty sweet.
With like
what would your tire selection be? Slick then?
I don't know. Super soft. I think they should have a couple of steel ramps.
I'm still not really sure. Oh yeah, Justin Hill. He'd be a good pick for top. I think, what did he come back to, 5th?
Yeah.
He pretty much went from off the track last to 5th.
Yep.
I don't know if this one's going to be any more predictable than the West Coast. But
yeah, I think it's. I don't
put enough thought into it. I know that. I don't really spend too much time thinking about it. I like to sometimes throw in a dark horse there.
Here.
Yeah.
That was my dark horse impression.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I think there's some guys that, I don't know. McElrath went from, would that be the penthouse to the outhouse off the start? And then
I don't remember him. Oh yeah, that's right. He went off the track, didn't he?
Yeah, he got the whole shot and then
over into the tough blocks.
Yeah.
And then got T-boned later by Stewart.
Which, do we want to talk about that at all? Here's
how do you ignore the guy doing this? Like, go to the other side of the track. No, I'm going here.
At least after the race, he admitted that was all my fault. No crap.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even watch the interviews, I guess, in the 250. I don't know what happened there, but.
Well,
I forget what I was doing Saturday night.
I don't know. It's like, maybe I'm wrong, but I think when those guys see a yellow flag, I don't think they don't slow down. So unless it's a red flag or a red cross flag, he's jumping that section the same. So
I didn't see where the flagger was, but if they were doing one of those things where they wave the yellow flag and then like try to get you to come towards them rather than being on the other side of the track.
Yeah, there was a guy that ran up onto the end of the Dragon's back and he was standing on the track, motioning to go to the right, and I think Stewart almost hit him.
I was going to say, did he have to jump out of the way?
And then just slammed into McElrath. I should be watching that rather than this GP. I was trying to find out where Townley was, but
I wasn't real good for comprehending much. I was drinking beer while I was watching the races. So
nothing wrong with that. Let's see your Daytona Beach 10-day forecast. Not much rain at all.
Well, that's good.
Got a 10% chance Friday evening. High is 74, low of 55, partly cloudy. Winds at the northwest, 13 miles an hour. And Saturday.
I think you should probably dig out that credit card for this weekend.
I can't. I'm going to be coming up your way.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's going to be busy.
Hey, did Jenny Taft really ask Richard Petty if he was going to get out on a bike? I think she did, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Hey, you're 79 years old. How would you like to get started in Supercross? I bet he doesn't want to. Just gonna
Go
throw
up to
that out there.
Minnesota. They'll create a class just for you.
Yeah. D23's got your class. Former NASCAR champion plus 75 class. All you got to do is petition it. It'll get in if it means one more entry.
Whoa. Ah, shoot. Okay. Oh, I gotta find this. I thought this was. Oh, you guys are gonna think I'm a loser, but I gotta.
Yeah, we
Too
already
late.
do. So.
I know. I gotta see if I can find it. Okay, so Saturday, this is pretty much what I did. I was down working on those T-shirts, so I had Race Day Live on, and then checking out the times. But then it is the Husqvarna racing team, like Purcell, Davalos. Their guys have like pit cameras that they put up. So obviously you can see them, setting up the bikes and this and that. I was like, what the hell? I'll click on it and, just kind of have it on in the background. But the guys were actually they were responding to my, questions or comments. So I thought that was pretty cool. So.
You guys, this doesn't. I just watched that. I was fast forwarding through the race to get to the good stuff, and I saw that stupid NASCAR thing. Were we led to believe at all that Clint Boyer had never ridden dirt bike before?
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't know if I don't think it was probably brought up beforehand, but he said afterwards that, and I guess I don't know. I thought it was pretty common knowledge that he rides or did ride. Definitely wasn't his first time.
Yeah, I mean, in the Terra Firma 4 video, his brother, the co-host of Race Day Live, is seen at the end going for that massive natural gap and comes up about 2 bike lengths short and destroys himself. And I mean, I'm thinking, well, of course he rides, his brother rides. I mean, kind of goes hand in hand, I would imagine. But so that seemed kind of janky. Probably one of the nastiest crashes you'll ever see.
I don't know that I've had to have seen this. I can find this on the interwebs?
What, the Andy Boyer crash?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you spell his last name?
Boweyer. He goes about 115 feet on a 125-foot jump. I think those were his words, too. At some point he described it. But it was nasty.
I think the other one was worse. That, what was that one in? On the Pipe, I think it was, when, what was his name, Dan Pastor hit a 4th gear jump, 5th gear pinned, and overshot it by 1.5 miles.
Ooh, I do not. Oh, I just watched the Mookie incident. Yeah, the guy flagging him over had to move to not get hit by Stewart. he like leans back to not get smoked by him, and then he hits McElrath.
I feel like you should probably be penalized for running over a flag.
What the hell was that?
I have no idea, but
and then running into the guy that they're flagging for.
That really hurt my ears. Is it because you're trying to watch something on your camera or your computer?
No, I don't know what the hell that was. That was Boyer?
I didn't hear anything.
No, it's some weird feedback. I thought that was...
I didn't know it either until I saw a column in Racer X that he wrote that talked about how he was the guy in Terra Firma. I think it was Terra Firma 4.
I thought that was that Rodriguez or whatever in that whole segment. It's not Rodriguez.
Yes, it was Terra Firma 4, and I think it was the part where they were in Chile.
Tortinez?
Tortelli?
No.
Tortillos?
Edgar...
Oh, Tarantaraz.
Yeah, that's who I thought that was that
No.
crashed. Crazy.
Damn it! Now I want pizza rolls.
Go get some.
Speaking of that, you can't
Alright.
skimp on the pizza rolls either. You got to go Totino's brand. They're the best.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if anyone else here agrees with that, but that's the case.
If you're gonna do that to your insides, you might as well enjoy the best.
Oh yeah, did you see it, Scott? Did you watch it just now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he eats it super hard. And then I think he
Feels so
spent
left
quite a bit
out.
of time in a Chilean hospital,
Oh,
which probably
I
wasn't
think
a
I'd
great
rather die.
experience. Yeah, that was a big huck, and he was like maybe even just a bike length short is all.
At the time, it probably seemed like a real good idea.
Well, I bet he wasn't the only one hitting it. Either that or he was really stupid. I think he was like 17 years old or something, so he was probably pretty stupid.
Young and dumb and
So that's a
full
little
of.
fun fact about the guy that hosts Race Day Live. He's kind of an idiot sometimes to listen to, but
But he's got a good excuse.
I gotta. Well, okay. Now we can add sexist to the category of people that are offended by me. Maybe. Like, did you guys watch any Race Day Live this weekend? No?
No.
Yep.
Call me an ass, but like, I think it's cool. I know. I think it's cool. Obviously, Vicky Golden's trying to qualify again. I think that's great. But, like, she made it last year, or at least to the night show. And
No, she didn't.
No,
I mean, she did, but she didn't qualify on her speed.
What do you mean? I thought she did. Didn't she sneak in?
There wasn't enough
No.
people.
Oh.
She got in because there wasn't
40.
enough.
Ah, shit. Okay, okay, fine. That seems like a technicality. Anyway, so like I'm watching Race Day Live, and they're talking about finishing like in the top 5 to, get your sponsors on camera or something like that. And then in the next practice, they're just showing her rolling everything. I'm like, I don't know, like, I guess to me, being a dick is like, all right, she's just another rider. So like, until she starts getting into the night show, I think, treat her just like one of the other guys, not for the whole practice. Show her, she's got the 15th fastest time in C practice or whatever it is, Does that make sense? I'm an ass, ain't I?
No, that's totally makes sense.
Makes
There's no
complete
reason to treat her unfairly because she's a woman.
All right.
You want to be
That's
treated
the
like
whole
an
point
equal,
of the.
unless it means getting credit for something you're not doing.
Right. So I was just a little kind of irritated with that. Then the other thing that I'm watching, and they're like the second or the last qualifying session for 450A group got done, and they're like, oh, thanks for tuning in, guys, we'll talk to you later. And I'm like, I see dirt bikes in the background and I want to keep watching them, but I can't. It was over.
What is with the order of the way they do practice? Is it different every week, or is it a lottery? It seems like it's different all the time, and I can't quite figure out. I know it goes. I'm pretty sure it goes 250 B, C, A, maybe?
It
And then
goes
450 A, B, C?
No, that's your blood alcohol content.
So it was 250C, 250B, and then 250A, then 450A, 450B, 450C. Then 250B is they get the first qualifying. Then it's 250C, 250A, 450A, 450B, 450C.
Okay, so they do mix or switch the order. on the second go around. I noticed it wasn't the same from first rounds to second round, so I was confused how it worked. If it was, it would be more fair to switch it up a little bit and not always give 250A guys the prime track, but.
Well, hang on. Then it switches one more time. Does it switch 250 CBA? It does switch. Because then they do track maintenance, and then the last final practice is 250C, 250B, 250A, 450A, 450B, 450C. So it looks like 450C gets shit every time. But, eh. It is what it is, I guess. We put Jason to sleep. Let's move on. So who are you picking for? Are you gonna pick Martin to win Daytona?
I think I got to. Plessinger could win, no doubt about that. Plessinger looks real good, and I think on a gnarly rough track he'll do good because he's so tall. I think he's really good in those rough, ruddy, nasty conditions. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Probably Martin. Maybe Martin, Plessinger, Stewart. Stewart's going to be good too. I mean, not far from home. I'm sure he's used to riding sandy shit. So.
Yeah, there's just I don't know. It seems really up in the air.
It's so early yet. And there's no clear favorite, so it's hard to pick one. And I kind of like that. I mean, it makes for a good, exciting race. And I don't think Davalos could win. Well, he could, I guess, but.
When he starts to see
Tonis could win. That'd be one to look for. Tonis didn't show what he was capable of there. He had really good practice times. Did you guys see his gnarly crash? They showed it, I think, the replay or whatever. Going over the bars in the whoops.
That was like a full cartwheel in the whoops.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Are not, is not.
He'll be good, I think, at Daytona. He'll be much better, I believe, than where he finished.
Yeah, It's just it's just weird. Like looking at the results on where some of these guys finished, like I just wouldn't think they would be there. And like Hill with a bad start still finishes 5th. So some of that, if they get the start, who knows? It maybe could have been different if Stewart doesn't smoke his bike. If he could have caught and passed him, I don't know. So I think Davalos was pretty good all day, too. Holy smokes.
I was just listening to Malcolm say sorry to McElrath.
Who has a touch-tone phone?
No one?
Then why do I keep hearing somebody hit a button on a phone and hearing the tone?
Is your phone dying or something? Is it a notification?
No, it's not. It's not me.
It's my favorite breakup line. It's not me. It's you.
It's not me. It's one of you two.
The only thing, it could be me with moving my chair.
No, it's not that. It's like
straight
somebody's
up phone.
Somebody's talking on the old 1994 Zach Morris phone.
The Motorola bag phone that he had in his locker?
Wow.
Did you hear that retarded, really annoying noise that happened earlier when...
I didn't.
Like
I missed out on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
lucky.
They're hacking us. We're not cool. Matt
The Tricoms. Tricoms are hacking us.
Matt says Martin needs hole shots, otherwise I don't think, or he doesn't think he can win. Tonis and Bowers suck, and Pro Circuit needs to get all new riders. Wow.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Pro
Especially
Circuit
Bauer.
has been really, really struggling. Bauer's dropped anchor hard. I guess he's not in shape, apparently.
I don't.
I'm thinking that's not too bold to say that.
I think he's still. I know. I thought he wasn't. I thought they said he wasn't quite up to snuff, like with his back and all that other jazz. So, like I said, there's some of the guys that are a little banged up yet, which kind of sucks. But who knows?
Supercross guys are always banged up. How it goes.
Should we stick a fork in the 250 class? Are we good?
Sure.
I got nothing. We've hit on all my little bullet points I had. 450s ain't much bigger. What did you think of that little yard sale with Short, Nicoletti, and good old Wilbur?
Any word on Short?
The only thing I think I read on Racer X, either that or it was on Vital.
I just read they were all injured. Nothing. I know Khan broke his collarbone, but...
Well, friggin' Han, poor guy, has to be the odd man out and has to walk back. Who makes that decision? You jump on the mule. You're hoofing it.
I think it's funny. It seems weird to me to have the riders riding on the same mule. Like, one of them's pissed off at the other because someone caused that accident. Here, let's share a ride on the mule.
Phil and Short are sitting on the mule like, oh, well, that sucks, but I'm all right. Here's Han walking back. His arm is obviously effed up, and they're making him walk. And the guy walking with him is like holding him up by the loop on his pants so he doesn't fall over.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I heard too. Is Han with the collarbone and Nicoletti was banged up his knee, and I think Short was just all banged up. But
didn't it say he was cuckoo or something? He banged his head.
Well, it sure looked like it. Looked like he had a foot peg to the side of the melon.
I got a couple things to comment on this damn 450 class.
Let's hear it.
I'm a little annoyed by a couple of things.
I'm ready.
One, that rhythm lane along the one length of the stadium that was like, it was right after the, I don't know what you'd call it, the sand section, right? So then they went into that 90-degree left-hand turn.
Mm-hmm.
There was one way that was clearly a lot faster through there. And it was going on the tops of the tables, right? On, off, off. And then doing the triple out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was obviously, like, just to the naked eye faster, for sure. But guys did it. I've seen guys do it, like, one or two times, and then they just didn't do it anymore. And then they'll do it later in the race to make a pass. If it's obviously faster, why wouldn't they be doing it constantly? And then secondly, this is a two-part comment. Why were people going to the far outside before that stupid wall? Like, to me, Marvin Muskin's line there was absolutely the best, where he'd, like, double in and come up short on the double coming into the turn, and then that would stop him because he kind of just landed into the face of the jump, and then just hug the inside. It's not like you need to rail the outside to carry speed because you're going to slam the brakes anyway when you come to the wall. To me, that looked like the best line of the bunch. Your thoughts? Go.
First off, you need to calm down.
It might have had something to do with how the wall broke in as the night went on. I don't know if you saw any pictures of how that wall looked towards the end, but it wasn't much of a wall anymore. It looked like an old castle, the way the ruts were in it.
I get that, I mean, I was just watching it all night, even before it broke down, and wondered, why are people going to the outside? Because it's such a stupid section. Like, you can't hardly make up time on it at all, really. I mean, everyone's got to come to a complete stop.
That's what's so stupid about them putting them walls anywhere near a whoop section. It's like, why do you even have a whoop section if you're going to penalize the guys before they even get to it or in the middle of it? You know, if a guy has an advantage in the whoop section, you're destroying it for him.
Oh boy.
The other thing I didn't really care for, and we've seen it time and time again, is the sand section being a 90-degree corner. There's only one line that develops that's any good in a 90-degree, because there's only one good way through a 90-degree turn, and it's to straighten it out the turn as much as possible.
Well,
and then
I
to throw
thought they
sand
set
in
it
it
up.
on top of that.
I thought they set it up pretty good to make other lines to the sand section. I mean, you just have Stewart go down on the inside, and then you have Short go down on the outside, and that creates new lines. That worked out well, I thought.
You know, I like, gonna be an ass
I
again.
thought, wasn't
I'm
it
so
Kennard?
over
Is it Kennard?
sand
Is that who
section.
you just said?
What was that,
Was
Jeff?
it Kennard or?
Yeah,
It was
Kennard's the one who
Kennard,
went down
wasn't
in
it?
the
Yeah,
sand.
it was Kennard. It wasn't Short. I get those two mixed up. They're kind of the same person in my head.
A little bit. I didn't mind the dragons back into the sand so much, but I just didn't like that it seemed like, I don't know, I just didn't like that sand section in a 90-degree turn like that. It just seemed very one line.
I feel like if they're going to make a sand section, it needs to either be bigger or it needs to completely go away.
I'd like to see him put sand whoops in a track. Get rid of these stadium whoops. Let's bring
Yeah.
in just a full line of sand whoops.
I want to see a sand wash. See something like that, I think would be cool, and we'll probably see that this weekend at Daytona. But
That's true.
you know,
How about
something like that is fine. But okay, we brought in 3 truckloads of sand. There's your sand section.
Yeah. Bring 30 in and we'll talk.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess I didn't think it was that bad.
What did you think about that rhythm lane? I seen Dungy do it earlier. I mean, it looked a little sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't look like it was super easy, but it was a lot faster to stay on top of them tabletops.
It was definitely faster. I think, you know, you just approach it with the idea that if you don't have to do it, you don't do it, just because I think it was actually pretty sketchy. I mean, the speed through there was insane if you were to do it.
Yeah, the guys, I seen Reed got a little front end high, Dungy got front end high off that first one. I think they had to make the on off, but man, when it was done, it was like they make up 2 or 3 bike lengths right there.
Well, I think it was the first lap of his heat race. Didn't Stewart jump onto that first table, and I thought for sure he was looping out?
Yeah, he boner aired it hard.
Yeah.
What about Muskin having the old brain fart and forgetting to roll the wall that one lap? Did you see that where he just launched it one time? He was probably like, "Oh, whoops." I just pictured to myself like he was just in La La Land because he was so focused and kind of just forgot where he was.
It was like 2 laps before that. I said, I want to see somebody jump that wall into the whoops.
Yeah.
And Shrimpy was like, that would be absolute murder. And it was like the next lap. Boom.
I don't think he quite made it into the whoops, but
no, he didn't. But
he damn near came to a stop when he came down. I know that.
I gotta admire his spirit.
He rode a great race except for one lap. And I honestly, as soon as I saw that, I shut the TV off. I was so mad.
Whoa.
I was just pissed.
Can't have any trash talk, though.
I'm pissed because I picked Stewart to get 5th because I thought he'd be better. And apparently I must have known that Roxon and Tomac were going to be total non-factors, which I think I've given up on Tomac. I think he's just spent. No good.
I've given up on him. Tomac on a Cowie, never going to happen.
Yeah, that was just maybe one of the worst moves in history.
Yeah.
Ouch. No, I would have to agree with that too. I think I had him for 5th, I think, and it's just not.
Now, that being said, Tomac will show up at Daytona and just kick ass. But if he was going to do that somewhere, Daytona would be the place for him to do it.
Yeah, I suppose he was not the best in Supercross the last time we saw him either. I feel like he won. No, I just watched Muskin do that jump into the whoops, and it wasn't too bad, really. Maybe he just
I didn't
mistimed
think
it.
it looked terrible.
Might have just mistimed it a little bit, not downsided one, but he didn't do it again, so I don't think he thought it was very good.
I really wanted to see him jump like 3 in.
That's definitely the time to try something different, is when you're being pressured for the lead on like lap 15. Might as well just try something totally different. Or like on lap 19 when you try to change your lineup because someone won't get out of your damn way.
I think maybe this is just how I'm wired compared to how they're wired. But like, I was listening to Reed's interview today, and he was talking, and I think it was that table section. Was that table before the Dragon's back? And I thought he said he didn't do like the triple all day until the main event.
Yeah, I just watched Dungey do it, and it definitely was faster to do that. I did like that line that developed later in the race, though, the double or the triple double to jump into the middle of the Dragon's back. That was a pretty cool line. I wouldn't have expected that to pop up, but then the triple that Dungey uncorked in the main. It was faster. You could see him gaining time on Muskin.
But I don't know. I guess maybe. Well, those guys can look at something and know what they know what the hell they're doing. So maybe it's not as big a deal. But like for me, if I wasn't doing something before I started racing, I don't know that I would just go wide there and see what happens. But
well, they have to at a certain point, though. I mean, how many times do they go through practice and qualifying, and then they change the track up on them?
Right.
Well, yeah, or their preferred line gets beat up and junky, and they got to try something different. These guys are good enough. They know how fast they got to hit something. It's not like it's a total crapshoot like it is if you were to do it.
Right. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Like, ask the guy next to you, what gear do you hit that? I don't think those guys have that issue.
I don't think so. I also think there has to be there has to be some consistency to the way that stuff is built, so that they can see an obstacle and go, okay, yeah, this is like the one 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Right. I got you.
So, I'm about to reach the climax of this main event. And
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start?
Black and yellow elephant.
Or do you guys want to start?
Yeah, start it.
Okay.
Start it.
When I first saw it, I really didn't think too much of it. And obviously, if you don't know, we're talking about Muskin. Muskin's leading, Dungey's second, and they come up on Stewart. They go over the finish line. Stewart's getting the blue flag. They go through the whoops, and so Stewart's on the left, kind of comes up, what would we say, mid-turn in that berm, and cuts back to the inside. And I didn't really think, if anything, maybe there, like are we going to assume that he knows they're behind him? Would we say yes or no to that part?
Yes.
So, you think he could have just checked up in that corner? And
to answer your question, I'm sorry to jump in here, but yes, he knows, because he just looks at him coming out of that whoop section in that hard left. You know, that goes right back down the start straight. He looked back behind him and saw them coming. So, yes, he knew they were there.
Okay.
So, continue.
So, my first thought is, on that section, just tuck it into that inside, right next to the barrier, let those guys go wide, and just get out of their way. And then, like I said, the first time I saw it, I didn't think it was too bad. I guess the one thing that I didn't really like is after that corner, Muskin obviously tries to triple, and Stewart goes double triple. I think, I don't know. To me, I just think he should have just maybe doubled through there and let those guys go by. And I think Muskin coming up short with Stewart doing the double triple, and it puts him back in front or right next to him, I think just makes it maybe worse than it actually was. But him knowing that those guys are there and having all that happen, and then obviously Dungey gets by him, but then I don't know if you notice when Dungey goes around and takes the checkered flag, Stewart's still right behind him. So it's to me, it's almost like he was maybe just pacing to see where he was at the end of the race. I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking about this. Now, I wonder if when Stewart looked back, from what I saw, he would have only seen Dungey because Muskin was on him too close to be able to see him. And he was kind of behind his other shoulder. So I wonder if he looked back and saw Dungey, if he thought it was just Dungey all by himself in the lead. And at the end of that start straight, when they were just about to go over the finish line, he's quite a ways ahead of Dungey. Not so far ahead of Muskin.
Right.
So I wonder if he just didn't even... I don't understand it. I don't understand why he didn't just pull off and, why he charges into the whoops like that and kind of runs Muskin high.
I feel like it should have never gotten as far as it did. He had to have seen at least 2 blue flags before they even got to that whoop section.
Yeah.
I feel like any other lapper out there would have gone to the inside of that corner and stayed the hell out of their way. They would not have gone to the middle of the corner. They wouldn't be going into that corner at speed because he knows, hey, I got the leaders right behind me. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I mean, do you really think, I can't let these guys lap me? How's that going to look? I mean, it's bad enough I'm in 20th. If they lap me, then what? I guess he was in 20th. But.
I
just feel like it never should have gotten to where it was. I've heard a few different theories on how, he was never in Muskin's way. He was in Dungey's way. It's like, no, he never should have gotten to where it got. He should have moved over long before it ever came to that.
I mean, he had the perfect opportunity down the start straight. It just doesn't. It's mind blowing to me. He was in the turn with those 2. He should have just pulled over. Like, I can't figure out. You can't even understand what was going on in his head.
Well, that's what I think.
He looks back, sees them, and he could have just laid up and let them by, and then tucked in behind them.
My guess is when he got himself knocked out and all concussed, he forgot what blue flags meant.
I feel like he just, I don't know if he just wasn't, didn't know he was being lapped. I don't know.
How do you not know? You're at that point. Who are the blue flags for? I'm here all by myself, and Dungey's near me. I think I'm probably being lapped.
I don't know. It's really a bummer because it just would have been nice to see the race come down to those 2 alone.
Yeah.
And you can say whatever. I mean, whether or not Stewart played a part or not, I mean, he was there. He was a third rider in that rhythm section that shouldn't have been there, as far as I'm concerned.
It would have been 100% different scenario if there was another rider going a lap down at the same time and they were battling for position. Then I could understand it. But he was there all alone. He could have very easily pulled to the inside of that corner, let him go, and we're not having this conversation.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah,
my
what would have happened if Dungey would have landed on Muskin, which is really, I mean, the whole scenario was just bizarre. I guess it's just
It's very possible.
and Stewart, he did like Muskin comes up short and then veers underneath Dungey.
Yeah, it could have got pretty squirrely there.
And Muskin did case the triple. There's no doubt about that. And then he went left. So, but I mean, I just can't figure out.
I don't know. It's tough.
And Matt, I think Matt was talking about Dungey didn't do his normal line there too. By the way, Dungey did not triple like he normally does. So Dungey had to double because Stewart was in his way.
Mhm.
So you can say the pass might have been made regardless of Stewart, but Dungey would have more than likely tripled in that section like he'd been doing all night rather than double, triple, double, which is what he ended up doing. I mean, they landed like a foot from each other, Muskin and Dungey. That could have been disastrous.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't.
Muskin did a good job holding it, keeping her together too, and not crashing.
Oh man, I don't know how he stayed on that bike.
Yeah.
Dungey'd be a lot cooler in my book if he'd have pulled over and let Muskin win.
No. Now you're just talking crazy.
I was pretty.
Well, I don't know.
I was pretty bummed because I mean, I think it's just kind of a shitty deal, but.
I was okay with it because we didn't have to listen to a 5-minute Marvin Muskin podium interview where he just repeats himself 14 times.
Yeah.
But it was a bummer.
Yeah, I think so. And then like
I'm just watching him. God, it's just amazing to me that Muskin held on to it the way that bike was bouncing around.
Oh yeah, and then like
I thought he had it all gathered up until he got near the tough blocks, and I'm like, oh, here we go, yard sale. But he stayed on.
I don't know his mechanic. Is it Frankie? Is that his name?
Yeah, Frankie
Yeah.
Latham.
That dude was livid.
Thanks a lot. You cost me a win.
And then how about Dungey's mechanic trying to calm him down? I'd have been
I
like,
know.
listen, bro, get away from me right now. Not that tough to
Carlos
be
was
mad
just
when
like,
your fucking guy won.
dude, simmer.
He's ready to throat punch somebody.
It's pretty funny when the mechanic is more amped up about it than the rider.
Oh man, that was funny. But then like, I was doing the, working on the picks, and did they mention Reed, Brayton, or Millsaps at all during the during the show? Like I literally had no idea. I'm like, oh shit, Reed got third. I had no idea. But kind of same thing when I, fourth and fifth. I'm like, okay. But
They mentioned Reed a little bit, but I didn't even know Brayton and Millsaps at fourth and fifth. I wouldn't have picked them either. I mean, what are the odds that Kennard, Roxon, Tomac, none of them could get to fourth or fifth? I can't figure out how those guys can be so freaking inconsistent. Like, how does one guy get almost every damn start? Dungey started, I think, at fourth.
yeah, I didn't see what happened with Roxon. I mean, I don't know. I think I had Dungy Roxon were my top two, and I think I had Tomac for fifth. But like, yeah, he was just horrible. He's like 16th off the first lap, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, let's just give it up for Team BTO having 2 bikes in the top 5, first time ever.
Say you got some sweet swag. I saw.
Yeah.
Looking all sweet. Shit, I don't know if we can say this on the air. Did your guy give you the hookup?
Well, yeah.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
That might be it, fellas.
There it was again. I heard more. Doot.
Yeah, I might have heard that one too.
I don't know what you guys are hearing. That's weird.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know what I hope we never see ever again? Is the corner before the finish line. Having it be faster to go inside and roll it.
Faster for
Anyone
timing and
notice
scoring?
that? Huh?
Faster for timing and scoring?
I don't know.
Or what do you mean?
I just noticed a serious number of riders going to the inside before the finish line and then rolling that jump. I know that's how I like to see races end.
Oh.
Yeah, well, they were doing it in practice too, because if you didn't have to jump the jump, you could just dive to the inside and cut off half the track. But I think that was only going to be the case if you had a last lap heroics that you were going to pull,
Right.
or trying to put in a fast lap time.
Seems like there was an awful lot of it, especially in like the semis and the LCQs. I think pretty much all of those ended with the leader going inside and rolling the finish line.
What was the one? Weimer tried to make something happen in that semi and
Yeah.
Stuffed her
went
in.
down.
Yeah. It's all right. But yeah, I noticed like on Race Day Live, yeah, a lot of guys were doing that to, I mean, that's quite a bit they're cutting off if they don't go outside to hit the, to jump the finish line and they just tuck it to the inside. Of course, it could completely screw up your next lap if you didn't get it on the first one, but.
Yeah, how many are putting in 2 heaters in a row, though?
You never know. They could be getting crazy. What, the last thing I have is the Fantasy Supercross. Do you guys have anything else? Any rants or comments, concerns?
I don't want to hear about your fantasies.
I don't want to jinx it, but I may have fixed the white screen of death today. And what was happening is when you guys would go to fill out your picks, since I switched how I receive them, when you would hit submit, it would bring you to a white screen. Well, today I think I fixed it. So, I don't know. I tried it today and it seemed to work, so I just had to do a little updating. So hopefully we'll be good to go, but we'll see. But really the big thing I got with the Talkin Moto fantasy picks is just guys have to pay, I guess, close attention to when the races are live. So like this week it was 6 o'clock Central Time. Be the same this weekend, so I don't know. I've been kind of a dick lately. So if you...
Is this really that hard to figure out?
No, well, some people they're a little tardy, and it's like, I kind of want to accept the picks, but then I'm like, no, they have to be in by 6 o'clock. When you send them in at 6:15 or 6:30, I'm not going to count them. Seems
Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah, that's one of the rules. And that's it. That's all I got. So I got the picks or the fantasy points updated right before the show started, so we should be good to go with that. I am doing horrible, as always. So that's it. That is all I have.
So what are we doing this weekend?
I don't know. It's gonna be crazy, is what it's gonna be. So I gotta I gotta make a few calls to figure out what's all going on. Especially if the races start. Oh boy. I don't know yet. It'd be fun to hang out and watch the races. But I know Friday, I'm going to come up Friday. Right now, I'm leaning towards leaving out here by like noon. So, and then I have a garbage truck to sticker, a couple little race cars. I got to drop some shirts off for Matt. And hopefully watch the Supercross.
We're gonna get our girly paws on some of those fine T-shirts.
For Matt? The Plainview ones?
Yeah.
I could see if I could steal a couple.
Hook us up.
Got some hoodies. Oh, man. Matt, I'm giving away some of your stuff. Don't be mad.
It's for a good cause.
But, yeah, so it's going to be... it's gonna be a busy weekend, so hopefully we can try to cross paths at some point. So, you guys got anything planned?
Nope. Just trying to live that long.
You know what's depressing is I see a lot of my friends from high school, they all seem to be going to Mexico. And
yeah,
we were just in Mexico, and I want to go back so bad. And I see all these photos. I'm like, oh, that looks awesome right now. But then I can't go. Sad.
Did Lenny come back today, Jeff?
No, he's back tomorrow.
He didn't. Oh, tomorrow. Do we know for sure?
What?
Well, there was like
he not supposed
all
to make
them
it
wicked.
back?
There was like all them wicked tornadoes and stuff where he was at.
Oh.
Where was he at with tornadoes?
Down by Pensacola.
No good. Holy balls. It's almost 10 o'clock. All right, boys.
Yeah,
the
buddy.
longest show of the season.
I know.
Took it.
What the hell? Promise this won't ever happen again. No, just kidding. But, all right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll be back next Monday. Oh, boy. Busy weekend. Hopefully we get to hang out with you guys this weekend. And that's it. We're out of here. Daytona, dirt bikes, whippertails.
Peace out.